Jam. We are live and echoing very loudly. We're back. Good morning. How is everyone? She's eating. Sorry for that little noise there. How do we look? Trying some new things today. Like every day.
Sorry. I'm eating, and when I was a kid, if I chewed with my mouth open, talked with food in my mouth, or chewed too loudly, I got yelled at.
Are we backwards?
So
we are backwards from how we usually are, because I'm using not a new streaming software, but new software for my camera.
We're backwards?
They're seeing us how we actually are now. Because when broadcast does its thing, it's actually upside down and normal, and I have to spin it right way around. It does look like we're green screen, doesn't it?
Man, you know what that means? That all of your shirts are going to say stuff backward.
Backdrop looks further away than previously. It's exactly the same as it always has been, and the lighting is exactly the same.
You can really see the wrinkles in that backdrop, though. Let us know.
It's not as bad as it usually is.
Guys, you are going to be our guinea pigs over the next few weeks, because we're going to be testing all the things. All the things will be tested.
This backdrop's going to go away. Going to be replaced by some just plain gray curtains. This desk is moving. More lights. Sharp quality. Awesome. Swapped places. Nope. Actually, we're sitting in the same place. Just the camera's being goofy because I'm using NVIDIA Broadcast now.
All right.
You guys are in the wrong chairs.
Nope.
Same chairs.
Same place. I'm the type of person that, like, I can't sleep if we switch spots on the bed.
I apologize that we're going to be backwards and setting off you guys' OCD.
You know what? I used to like having the Friday bean thing over my belly. Now you
don't have it. Now I've got it. Yeah.
Now you can see my pooge. Let me cover my pooge. Happy Friday, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Etsy SEO, but first, at around 10 o'clock at night, 10:30 at night, for those of you who were awake, I turned myself into a pizza, and I posted the video on YouTube. So when you're done with this, if you want to watch 2 minutes of me editing myself into a pizza, that's available on my channel. It's
the balance is off. Yes, I'm sorry. Maybe we're testing things out for Twitch. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I hadn't gotten to that part yet. I'm working on it. So go watch me turning myself into a pizza if it tickles your fancy. And then Mark and I are finally going to be streaming on Twitch for all of our gaming alphas who have asked us to please do some type of fun thing non-Etsy related. We do have a Twitch channel already. It is called Just Okay, I guess.
Yes.
Not spelled out.
The letters okay here. Let's just.
It sounds like just Okie guess. Just okay, I guess. So, if you're on Twitch, feel free to follow us over there. We're probably going to be playing. What are we playing? Outriders?
Yeah, if we do it, it'll either be today or tomorrow. Once we get everything set up, we probably won't be doing very much like actual playing right away. It's just gonna be. We've never used Twitch, so it's just gonna be
us figuring out what we're doing.
Figuring out the software, figuring out how to get 2 webcams to work on my computer that doesn't have the space for 2 webcams. Yeah.
So, go follow us on Twitch. I'll post somewhere, probably on my Instagram. You can follow me at, can you type it Starla, the letter K, and more if you want to find us, follow us. If you're watching the replay of this and you want to find me on Instagram, it's Starla, just the letter K and more. So, all right, guys. Today we're going to be talking about Etsy mistakes, Etsy SEO mistakes. Yeah. Mark and I, we have been running an Etsy shop for 9 years. Me and Amber Marie are currently building another Etsy shop because my current Etsy shop has been on vacation mode since around December of 2020 because Swarovski crystals have recalled all of their, or not recalled, but they have just stopped distribution of DIY components for crafting. And that was my primary supply. So if you're interested in that topic, if you rely on Swarovski crystals, make sure that you watch the video that I did a few weeks ago on that, because you're not going to be able to get your hands on them anymore. So I had to park that Etsy shop for a little while I try to figure out what I'm doing with it and where it's going to go. But in the meantime, ever since around November, Amber Marie and I have been building another Etsy shop, which is going to be launching on May 8th. So if you're interested in seeing how we build a brand from bottom up, and how we market, and how we send emails, and how we build anticipation, make sure that you sign up down below for the Adapt link. There's a black heart and a red question mark and another black heart, and that link is down in the description. So sign up for that if you want to learn more about what we're launching. This isn't so much us trying to sell to you, but it's us trying to show you how we would market a mysterious collection that has yet to be revealed. So but that being said, I'm gonna have to be doing a lot of SEO in a territory that I've never done SEO in, because I have a jewelry shop, and this is not a jewelry shop that we are going to be opening. Not only that, but I work for eRank. I have been working for eRank for the last year. Mark is a data analyst for eRank.
And video editor.
And video editor. Yeah, that's new position. And with the data analyst, one of his jobs is to kind of look at what people are doing.
Don't worry, I can't see anything private.
No, or anything specific.
No, I can just see like what terms and things you're using.
Right, we can see what users are kind of doing, and we can see when they leave us feedback. A lot of the times the feedback they leave is feedback that's linked to them not using something correctly. So
almost always, actually.
Yeah. So it's almost like, for example, a couple weeks ago, or no, maybe it was sooner than that. We had someone leave a bit of feedback that said that eRank like messed their shop up and they got less sales. And I'm like, that's impossible. That's like saying that you were building a house and you were using a hammer and you leave a bad review on the hammer and say that your house fell apart. No, you just misused the hammer. You can't. It's data. It's numbers. It's raw data from the source. If you misuse the data, yeah, you could probably do something wrong, but data can't mess up your Etsy shop. It's how you apply that data, and it's how you use the hammer to build your house.
Yeah.
If you use a hammer incorrectly, then yeah, your house might fall apart, but you can't blame the hammer.
But it'll be funny the whole time.
It will be funny because you're
it's not.
Probably, how do you use a hammer wrong?
I don't know. Ask a dad.
Ask a dad, yeah. So what we'd like to do today is talk about the top 10 mistakes that we've noticed Etsy sellers making with their SEO based on some of the things that we notice on eRank, some of the questions that we get from alphas, and some of the things that we just see in Etsy shops. Now, we've done videos like this in the past, but I feel like this one is a refresher and it's got a couple new things in it. We'll probably do these frequently and change our top 10 frequently because we see new, mistakes all the time.
Often. A few of them don't change, but we see quite a few different things.
Yeah. So, all right, let's move on and get on with our list. I don't know what. Can you click into this box so it's not showing eyes and it's showing numbers? There we go. All right. Number 1 is editing your listings that are performing well. If you have a listing that is selling, and a lot of people say, can you define selling? Selling is whatever is good for you. If you have listings, like if all of your listings sell, but most of your listings sell 100 times a day, but then you have one listing that only sells once a day, then that would be your listing that isn't selling, right? But if you have, a bunch of listings that never sell, or maybe they sold once last year, then that's not selling, unless the one that sold once last year.
Base it off your prices. If you're selling $1,000 items once a year is probably okay.
Right, exactly. So basically, you've got to kind of define what selling well is for you. Obviously, you probably know what your best sellers are, and you probably know which listings you don't see any traffic towards. You don't see anybody favoriting it. You don't see anybody buying it. That's probably the listing that it's okay to go in and tweak. But you should never ever touch the tags or the titles of listings that are performing well. I like to think of it like a table with 4 legs, okay? If one of those keywords, one of those legs is the leg that's supporting your table, and you pull it out, the whole table could collapse. And you don't want that to happen. And you might think that that keyword isn't the one that's bringing you traffic, but it's best to just not test it when it comes to listings that are performing well, because you never know what keyword it is that's supporting the whole listing. Now, what you can edit are things like your description. Those have no impact on rank. If you need to refresh or add photos, those have no impact on rank. If you need to update your shipping times or your pricing, that has no impact on rank. So you don't need to worry about things like that. Just don't touch your tags and your titles of listings that are doing well. Even if eRank says that they have like an E grade, okay? This isn't...
We'll get into that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about grades in a few minutes. It's not school. You don't have to aim for straight A's. Most of my best sellers had like D grades in eRank, and I didn't even look at the grades. So don't worry about that. Don't touch listings that are performing well ever, okay? So
they shouldn't even be able to hear that now. So
oh, really? You guys
Yeah.
can't heard the turd flipper?
Can't heard the turd flipper?
You can't
Yeah,
heard
they
heard it.
shouldn't be able to hear it anymore, as long as my broadcast is actually running still. All right, the next one.
Now the dogs are barking at the turd flipper.
Well, your mom's dog started it. Stop it.
Come here. All right, go ahead. You do number 2.
All right, not waiting 60 to 90 days for changes to be indexed within Etsy. We see this quite often. People will change their listings, wait like 2 days. Oh, my listing isn't selling. Oh my God, I just changed it and nothing has happened. Yeah, it takes time.
Yeah.
It takes 60 to 90 days, roughly, for a listing to actually build up that SEO within Etsy, for it to be indexed within Etsy, for Etsy to see it, figure out what it is, and put it where it needs to go. And a lot of people will just continuously change over and over and over and over again.
And Etsy doesn't have time to do what the algorithm is meant to do. When you first list a new product, it takes Etsy time to help figure out where that product belongs. You have to build a listing quality score based on the way that people engage with that listing. So when you list a new product, it can take 60 to 90 days just for Etsy to build a listing quality score. When you first list a product, you do get a slight boost in search, but that boost is only in place so that Etsy can figure out where to put you. And if you constantly change your SEO, you're not going to actually accumulate that listing quality score, because you're basically just starting the process from the bottom over again, and Etsy has to, put you back in the queue to be analyzed. So don't constantly go in and tweak. Give things time, and make sure that if you're using eRank that you go into the changes tool within the listings tab and track changes that you're making to your listings. Otherwise, you're not going to know if the changes that you're making are actually resulting in more or less views, favorites, and sales. You are so loud.
She's snorting because you're not paying attention to her.
Can you guys hear? This is my mom's.
Probably not.
This is my mom's Chihuahua. Her name is JoJo.
And she is a spoiled, rotten brat.
She is a princess. Our Chihuahua is not nearly as much of a princess as this one, but this one...
She will just sit and stare and snore, and eventually get to a point where she'll just bark at you if you're not paying attention to her. She's also a leaf barker.
Yeah, if she sees a leaf, she barks at it.
All right,
All
yeah,
right.
they can hear her snoring, so put her down.
All right. You go play with Itty.
Too loud.
That's-
Okay. Only using not refreshing your eRank data.
Yeah, so if you've ever noticed that like your eRank doesn't seem up to date and it looks a little funky, don't hit the blue feedback button for that. We have a feedback button on eRank. Don't reach out to support for that. It's very likely that all you need to do is look up at the top right corner of your eRank screen. There's a little orange refresh data button. A lot of the times we have people who will say that their data seems out of sync, and eRank support will say, go refresh, and they'll just click the refresh button on their browser. That's not the same thing.
It's not the same thing.
Yeah. So when you first log into eRank, sometimes a pop-up will come up and you'll get a little prompt.
It says to refresh your data.
Exactly. Make sure that you're hitting that every time. eRank doesn't pull your data like in real time. That would take way too much power and it would slow the site down.
And yeah, we can do it manually. I can refresh people's data manually.
Yeah,
but
if they for some reason can't do it. But just make sure that you're going in there and doing that. Otherwise, you're working with old data. You're not working with the most current data. And that's really important when you're trying to monitor the progress of your SEO. I don't know what other Etsy SEO tools have, how they do it, but with eRank, we want to pull the data that is the absolute freshest. And I know that some data tools will do it like every 24 hours. I would rather have the ability to do it by myself so I can have the data from that very minute. You know what I mean? Rather than waiting 24 hours. Because then you got to wake up every morning and do it.
Samantha said eRank always has a pop-up to refresh every time you log in. Yeah, we're more referring to those people who, like, just refresh their browser. I don't know, because and I know this happens because there's quite a few people when I'll view like search history and stuff like that, what people are doing, and it'll say that they haven't refreshed their data in like 3 months.
Yeah.
So I know that some people have a way around that. It might even be people using pop-up blocker. I don't know if that affects that or not.
No, not the type of pop-up that we build within eRank. I think that it's just people. I think it's just people. They see a pop-up and they close it out.
Because it's a CTA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured.
If I see a pop-up on a website, sometimes I won't even look at it. I'll just close it out. So Elaine said, "Oops, I just went in yesterday and changed a tag on my bestseller yesterday. I took out a 2-word tag that had those words in other tags. The thing is, having the word in there that is contained within other tags isn't going to hurt you, so there really wasn't a reason to take it out. So if it's something like that, don't worry about it. Just keep an eye on that listing. You might want to pop it into the changes tracker tool if you use eRank and monitor how those changes have affected that listing. It should be okay, but like I said, I don't recommend going in there and touching tags and titles of those listings. So, all right. Number 4 is only using one tool when performing keyword research. You should be using a variety of different tools when you're doing your keyword research. I personally recommend going into eRank's keyword tool first. The keyword tool is going to show you what other sellers are using, the most common tags that other sellers use in their listings and find success with, okay? So start there in order to find a good lead. It's almost like you're sniffing for clues. That's also going to help you to identify the country in which those tags are most popular. It's going to help you identify common price points. That way you can make sure that you're pricing your product within your industry. It's going to show you common processing time, so you can make sure that you're shipping within, as quickly as you possibly can in competition with those who are also shipping similar products to yours. It's going to show you similar listings and a bunch of other data. So just make sure that you start with the keyword tool, and then I like to take the data that I've gotten from the keyword tool or the keywords that I've found in the keyword tool and go into the keyword explorer so I can see how sellers or how shoppers are responding to those keywords. So yes, starting with what sellers are using is great, because typically if a lot of sellers are using a keyword, it generally means that that's a pretty good keyword that they've found success with. But then you can go into the keyword explorer and see things like search trends. What time of year does this keyword get searched? You can look at things like search volume. How many people are actually searching for this term? And we go based on the data of last month. So how many people last month searched for this particular term? You can see things like the click-through rate. How many people who search for this term are actually clicking on listings that contain that term? And you can see the cost per click for Google, which means that if other companies are betting on that term for marketing on Google, you can see how much they pay. And if they're paying a high dollar amount, you know that that's usually a better term to use. If people are willing to pay for that to get ranked on Google, it usually means that that is an in-demand term that you're going to find success with. So when you're looking at cost per click, that has nothing to do with you paying anything. It has nothing to do with what, what you would pay for marketing. You're looking at what other people are paying. It's almost like if you go to like a racetrack and everybody is betting on one horse, and you see everybody betting on this horse, and all these like really smart people who are experts in horse racing are putting their money on it. that's probably the horse that you're going to put your money on too, right? Because you know that these smart people who are experts in horse races are putting their money on that horse. Listen to the experts. So if you see that most people are betting their money on a specific keyword, that's a good indicator that that's a good keyword to use. So
I see quite a few people only using competition as well, where they will specifically just look at all of their competition. And I can't make any assumptions. Well, I mean, I can make assumptions based on that, but I can't say exactly what they're doing. But I mean, for the most part, I know that people that, excuse you, people that are doing that are pulling keywords directly from competition, looking at the listing and just trying to use exactly what they're using. Don't explicitly do that. I mean, it's okay to get ideas if you can't figure out.
Or use some of them.
Or use some of them, but don't copy listings directly. And I know there's a lot of people that do that. Okay. Next one's going to be relying too much on grades. Stop it.
Yeah.
Please stop it. So, I can't use any specifics, obviously, because I work for eRank, but we do have people that will quit because the grade system has changed to having to look at the listings individually. And for one, grades don't matter that much.
No.
A lot of people place a huge emphasis on making sure, gotta have that A grade. Man, I wish I could still see. The grades are not indicative of how your listing is performing on Etsy. It's just a measure of how well your listing conforms to Etsy's best practices. That's it. Etsy has a list of best practices, and eRank has that list of best practices and can look at your listing and say, which of these are you following, which of these aren't you? And Etsy's best practices are a good place to start, but they're not the end-all, be-all for how your listing's going to perform. Will that be that way for a couple of people? Absolutely. Some people, the grades will be enough. But for most people, it's not enough. You have to do your actual SEO research, and you have to build your listings based off of other things other than just the grades. So please don't use grades as an indicator for how your listings are performing. We have at least one person every week that quits eRank that messages to let us know, which means there's several more that are still doing it. Yeah. And it's not worth doing that.
Yeah, you could follow Etsy's best practices perfectly and stuff your listings with keywords that absolutely no one is searching for and still get an A grade, while you've got a competitor out there who has like a D grade who doesn't follow Etsy's best practices, but they're using keywords that people are actually searching for, therefore they're ranking higher. So don't rely on grades. They're a great starting point. If you're creating a listing from scratch and you want to see how well that listing that you've created is following its best practices, that's great. If you've got a listing that isn't selling and you want to perfect it and you want to make sure that it's following Etsy's best practices, sure, start there. But if you've got a listing that's selling, once again, don't sit and try to tweak it just to get an A grade. Like I said previously, most of my listings, even my best sellers, listings that have brought me, I believe, like, I have one listing, the one dragon set has brought in over like $10,000, and it's a D grade. Yep. So don't focus so hard on getting that A grade. Like I said before, it's just a measure of, if you tick all of Etsy's special little boxes, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to rank. And making sure that you have an A grade does not mean that you're going to get sales or any more visibility or search ranking. So.
All right, next one. Assuming that your rank is static. Yes. So
in the rank checker tool.
Yeah. So I'm a little bit more better explaining. I'm a little bit better at explaining how this is. So when you search for something on Etsy, let's say you have a listing. It says that's on page 1. So we'll think of this as really bad example, but think of it kind of like a digestive tract, right? It's not just going to spit out page 1. It takes a little while, goes through a few different processes. So when somebody searches for something, Etsy says, okay, this listing's on page 1. Now, what does this person frequently search for? If they've searched on the platform, or if Etsy buys search data from other companies, which most companies do, they say, okay, what does this person search for? Let's apply that to what you've searched for. Okay, say we have a limited amount of data, or maybe Etsy stacks this on top of it. What do people in your area search for? What do people in your city, your county, your state, your country search for? And let's take all of these different variables, let's mash them together, and finally we'll spit out what we think you want to look for. So if somebody's looking for your listing, say we're here in Ohio, if somebody else searches it in California, they're not going to get the same page of results. So a lot of them probably will be the same, but they're not going to get the same results. And a lot of people try to use things like VPNs and incognito browser, which for one, all incognito browser is it keeps it from saving into your browser history. That's it. It doesn't hide anything from your internet provider. It doesn't keep you safe from viruses. It doesn't do any of that. And all a VPN does is make you look like you're coming from a different place. So when you search with a VPN, you're applying personalization data for wherever that IP address is located. So if it's in France, you'll get whatever people in France or in that area of France search for. You cannot get raw search from Etsy. The only place you can get that is through eRank.
Because eRank gets that data direct from
the
Etsy.
API.
Yeah.
Directly from Etsy's system before any of that personalization data is applied. And we have a lot of people that will quit and will cancel eRank because the data isn't accurate. For that specific reason. And it's just because they don't understand that eRank is correct. It is impossible for them to be incorrect with information that's coming directly from Etsy.
And it's impossible for them to be able to give data on personalization factors when every single person has their own
because Etsy
personalization.
Etsy has it.
Yeah.
Etsy probably reads off of some sort of algorithm that tells them that. But they don't give people like eRank or companies like eRank access to that. That would ruin the fun, right? That would give eRank too much power to show people exactly what they need to do to be on number one all the time. So
if you want, if you want to use the rank checker the correct way, and you want to make sure that you're actually using this really great tool, because eRank is a great way to see if your SEO is good, if your keywords are good, if you are showing on page one for some people who fit your bucket, who fit all of the personalization factors that you would fit into.
And I don't know if we've thrown out the disclaimer yet. We both work for eRank, but we are not affiliates and don't get paid to recommend it.
Yeah, it's just
we just work for them.
It's the best SEO tool out there, so we have to talk about it when we talk about SEO.
And we've been offered jobs at other companies, so.
Yeah. So basically, the rank checker is going to show you what page and position you would be on if personalization was not a factor. This is data direct from Etsy telling you where you would be before the personalization, okay? So what you can do is check your search ranking, see where your listings are showing up, and if you've got listings showing up on page 1, 2, or even page 3, it's probably a safe bet that you don't need to work on those listings. You don't need to really touch them as much. You don't need to tweak the SEO on those listings. But if you see some that are showing up maybe like back on page 10, you'll know that those are the listings that you need to work on editing first. Those are the ones that could use a little bit of improvement and that you could work on, your tags and titles for to try to improve their search ranking. As we said in step 1, make sure that you aren't editing listings that are performing well. As we said in step 2, make sure that you're waiting around 60 to 90 days after making changes for Etsy to actually index those changes. But start at the bottom. Start with your lowest ranking product. In fact, I would put looking at your ranking and working on lowest ranking products above working on products with low letter grades, but you can use those in sync with each other. I would start with the listings that have the lowest rank and the lowest letter grade within the listing on it, because that's really going to show you what your like, I don't know, your worst listings are. Those two things stacked on top of each other. So start there. So that's rank. There's no way to see exactly where you would be on a search page minus personalization. And as we've said many, many times, don't use a VPN on Etsy. They don't like it. If you're a buyer, it probably isn't that bad. But as a seller, Etsy does not want to see your location constantly changing, because then they are very likely to shut your account down, especially if you end up with sharing an IP address with somebody who has in the past had an Etsy shop that got shut down. It's a very slim chance, but you got to be careful. So don't use a VPN. Etsy doesn't like to see you bouncing all over the place.
And I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not a big fan of their policy on that, but it's their policy. You don't get to choose. Sorry, guys. Okay, starting your keyword research too narrow or specific.
Yeah. So, what number is that? Number 7. Sorry, guys. I've got like really bad allergies right now. So starting your keyword research by searching very, very specific terms rather than starting with a nice broad term and then narrowing it down as you go. If I were to go into, we'll say the Keyword Explorer and type in, I don't know, tall, blue, ceramic mug, I probably wouldn't find a lot of results, right? That's a really specific thing to search. And that might discourage me. That might make me feel like nobody wants to buy my tall blue ceramic mug. Nobody's searching for it. When in reality, there are probably people who would buy something like this. I just need to start my search a little bit more broad and find a keyword that is going to be more common for people to actually type into their Etsy search bar. So I might just start my query with mug. And then within the Keyword Explorer, if you scroll down the page, eRank actually recommends to you a list of different keywords that contain the words mug. So you might see blue mug, tall mug, mug for mom, mug for grandma, and you can sort through those and find keywords that you never even thought of. You can also maybe, use it to refine down even more. If you see that you're selling a blue mug, you search mug, you scroll down and you see that blue mug is one of those related searches. You could click on the term blue mug and see what related searches come up for blue mug. And maybe blue mug for grandma has thousands of searches. You never know. So just make sure that you start very broad.
You're not wrong.
Start very broad and then narrow your way down. Because one of the biggest issues that he sees on the bug side of things is people going through and searching for things that are just insanely specific.
Yeah, blue mug for grandma with blonde hair that likes cats.
Yeah, people will
just bring it, cut that whole end part off of there.
People will search things that I'm sure it makes a lot of sense to them, but it's so specific that it's really hard to think of a buyer who's typing it.
You have a little bit of a bias when using a tool like this, because you're assuming you're going to get the kind of performance that you get out of something like Google. Which is, to be honest, I think that there's probably a psychological reason behind that. But you're used to using tools like Google that can literally spit you in the first link what you're searching for almost any time, regardless of how specific or narrow your search is.
Or what combination you put the words in.
And, yeah. And we're working on that. It's very hard to, and I was discussing this with Anthony. I think it's something that, and please nobody take offense to this, I think it's something that the older audience has a little bit more trouble understanding, and that Anthony didn't even really catch right off the bat, is that there's a million different ways to say the same thing when you're searching for something, but it's very hard for a search engine to take all of those different things and spit back the same result no matter what you're typing in. So they're working on that, and that's going to take time. But you're used to using search engines like that, and eRank, like most SEO tools, is very specific in what it wants you to look for. It's not necessarily rudimentary, but it's not there yet. It takes a lot of power to be able to push something that advanced, because it's looking at what you say and trying to break that whole sentence apart and figure out what the context of that sentence is, and then give you back results that make sense. So being too specific makes the system say, okay, well, they want this exact thing. And being too narrow, it has a harder time of narrowing down exactly what you're looking for. So it may spit back no results. It may spit back way too many results.
You keep doing these hand gestures like
whoa.
Right at
I'm
my
not
face.
I'm not gonna hit you on camera.
Yeah, I'm so nervous. Shut up. Gotta get
All
the-
right. Yeah, guessing keywords rather than using.
Well, hold on. Bluebird asked
hold on.
asked a question.
Is E-Rank free?
Is E-Rank free?
Kinda.
E-Rank has a free membership, and I recommend that everybody start there. If you don't have E-Rank, don't rush off and immediately go buy the most expensive plan, okay? Start with the free plan. Get yourself used to the tools that are free. Poke around a little bit and start getting and developing an SEO mindset. Start doing some easy keyword research. We have quotas on all of the tools. And your quotas are going to be a lot lower with a free plan. Use up all your quotas. Come back the next day. Your quotas will refresh. And once you feel like you've got a grip on what you're supposed to be doing when it comes to SEO research, that's when I would say to upgrade your plan to the basic plan. It's $5.99, and that's going to, for most sellers, that's going to be enough unless you're in there every single day. For our more advanced sellers, there's also the $9.99 a month plan, which is still cheaper than any other Etsy SEO tool.
Less than 2 cups of coffee from Starbucks.
Yeah. So highly recommend the basic plan, though, when you're able to get there. But please start with free. And like Mark said before, we don't get paid to recommend E-Rank, but it is something that we used for 4 years before.
I still do.
Yeah.
I still recommend it.
It's something we used for 4 years before we ever worked for E-Rank. Us working for E-Rank just kind of allows us to teach about it better because we're kind of on the front lines of everything.
It's also pretty wild how many people complain that it's too expensive.
It's the cheapest.
It's literally one of the cheapest SEO tools out there. And for one, it's one of those things where, like, if a $5.99 tool to make your business run better is too expensive, then your priority probably shouldn't be a homemade business. It should probably be getting yourself stable first.
Yeah. I mean, there are so many like I would recommend it over like paying for Facebook ads, for example.
I think Facebook ads are a waste of time, to be honest.
I recommend it over having a pattern Etsy shop. I recommend it over having Etsy Plus. There are so many other things that I think that we pay for, and I think that making sure
$5.99 is nothing.
Making sure that our SEO should be number one. And like I said, if you can't afford that, that's fine. Start with the free plan because that is still going to help you tremendously.
Start with the free plan and like just keep a regular job. If you can't afford a $5.99 tool to keep an Etsy shop performing at its best, then the Etsy shop might not be the number one priority.
Yeah.
Anyway, did we do number 8?
No.
Okay, so guessing keywords rather than using a keyword research tool. Now, I will say some people are good at this. Some people are good at understanding trends without needing to use a keyword research tool.
But they'll never know the exact numbers.
But most of you here are not that person.
I'm not.
It's not an intelligence thing. Some people just have a knack for this kind of thing. People are data minded. They can look at a page full of listings, say they search blue mug, they can look at a page full of listings, and without even needing to see the numbers, they know which ones are performing well if they look at the shops that are making sales and stuff. Most people don't have that skill. You need to be using a tool that helps you do that. Helps you do that math that you're not inclined to do.
And not only that, but E-Rank updates every month. So something that worked really, really well a few months ago, we'll use face masks, for example. Last April, face masks was the #1 searched item on Etsy, and that lasted for several months, and it's still showing up in the top 100 searches on Etsy.
Yes.
Everybody searched for face masks on Etsy. But now everybody has masks. The pandemic is starting to get more and more under control. People are getting their vaccines. Everybody has a bunch of masks already, and you can get masks. Right, and you can get masks pretty much anywhere. So we're not seeing as many people searching for it. So all these people who were doing really, really great selling just masks are now having to figure out other things to do. And that keyword is not as reliable. You need to make sure that you're really looking every single month at how the trends change. What time of year does this product trend? And is this a one-off trend where it's only going to trend for a short time and then never trend again? Or is it something that trends around the same time every year? So, I doubt that for Christmas flip-flops are trending, but I'm sure around the summer, lots of people are searching for flip-flops, right? So it doesn't mean that you should not make flip-flops. It just means that you should make sure that you're making flip-flops at the appropriate time of year. So don't guess your keywords. It's what we used to do before we had tools like E-Rank. We would also, I use tools that were meant for Google, and it's like, well, if
SERPs.
it's, SERPs. I'm like, well, if it worked for Google, then it will probably be trending on Etsy. But wouldn't you rather have data that's actually Etsy data?
It did, but that was back. It worked, but it was one of those things where even Etsy's algorithm was still kind of rudimentary. So it was pretty easy to beat Etsy's system back in the day.
Yeah.
Y'all that are new to Etsy, really, y'all missed out on how easy Etsy used to be to push it. It used to just be pay the 10 cents to renew your listing. And then you were on, or 20 cents, whatever, and then you were on page 1 for a day.
Yep.
We should all have holiday flip-flops. We're in Ohio, so I wear flip-flops all year round. I'm sorry if this was already asked. Is E-Rank something you cover in HAA?
It is. And HAA members also get a whole year of E-Rank paid. New HAA members. Those of you who enrolled several years ago, this is a newer thing that we offer, and we can't go back because we pay for it. And if everybody from the past all ganged up and all wanted E-Rank, we would have to sell the house.
Yeah.
So sorry for everybody else. We love you and we appreciate you, and we have lots of other great things added to HAA for you. But everybody who's going to enroll this June, you guys get a year of E-Rank. We have updated SEO section within HAA now, so you'll get a huge update that we did last December. Was that before December enrollment? Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a big SEO dominance lesson. So.
And I'll be revamping the site at some point between the June and December launch. Oh, and Deborah asked what's the difference between the $5.99 and $9.99 plan. I don't remember offhand.
Higher quotas. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much just higher quotas. Head over to erank.com/plans.
Yes.
And it's all on a chart laid out for you to see.
Yep, just higher quotas. If you notice yourself hitting your quota limit on your basic plan and you don't want to hit that quota limit, you can get the pro plan, and then it's got even higher quotas. But if you're already on a basic plan and you never hit your quotas, you're probably not ready for a pro plan.
Amber said I'll bring my flip-flops with me when I come visit. Definitely bring some regular shoes because it's going to be cold when you get here.
Yep.
Let's see. Using Etsy search bar as your primary keyword research tool. We kind of covered this a little bit.
So
don't do that.
The Etsy search bar up at the top, there's no data behind that, okay? That's meant for shoppers to kind of sift through the assorted categories and types of products. You guys have probably done it. If you go to Etsy and you start typing in, I don't know, gemstone or necklace, it'll start populating results like necklace for mom, gold bar necklace, necklace with diamonds. It's going to give you ideas there. And at one time, that was the best way to find keywords before we had tools like eRank. We just kind of pulled what we saw in that search bar and stuck it in our tags and titles. But that isn't driven based on people searching for those terms. That's Etsy recommending those terms to shoppers. And sure, that's a great place to start. If you start with the Etsy search bar and then you take those results that Etsy's giving you or those suggestions Etsy's giving you and plug them into eRank, then you've got a powerful combination that can probably do you some good. But if you're just using those things on their own, there's no way to tell if people are actually searching for the things that Etsy is suggesting. So make sure that you're actually taking those terms into the Keyword Explorer to make sure that people are searching for the things that Etsy's suggesting, because Etsy, despite the fact that they're suggesting them, it doesn't mean that people are searching for those things.
Right.
So.
Okay, and then the last one. This is I'm gonna do a little bit more than not just checking your plurals. So check your plurals and check your spelling and check how you're actually typing things in. Okay, so this is probably one of the number one reasons that I see people quit eRank, why they refund eRank, whatever. People will search for a term in the wrong way. And what I mean is, let's take the word earring, for example. I've seen people search for specifically just the word earring, and they get no data back, and then they get upset, and then this tool sucks, there's no data.
Nobody's searching for earring? That can't be right.
Right. But if you were to add an S, earrings, all the data suddenly pops up and there's hundreds of thousands of searches and this, that, and the other. Same thing with combining words like that. Some people will spell it ear ring. separate words. That's not how eRank sees it. So we get the data back, and right now, and we're working on the plural issue too. It's kind of a complicated one. And eRank will spit you back the data in a literal way. So if there is no data for earring, because nobody usually searches for just one earring, it's not going to give you any data back. And the same thing goes for, like, themed products. Okay, so let's say, I think mermaid earrings was one. So we'll say mermaid earrings. We'll have somebody will search for mermaid earrings in the middle of December because they're planning their spring launch or whatever, and they get no results back. And instead of taking mermaid or mermaids off of there, they just immediately refund and quit. And it might not necessarily... Let's see. It's kind of hard to explain what I'm going for.
Let me run with this for a minute.
You go ahead, because I'm having trouble kind of piecing together what I'm trying to say.
All right, so eRank gets data based on what people are typing into the Etsy search bar. It's getting data for earring and earrings. It's getting data for everybody who types in earring, everybody who types in earrings, everybody who types in earring, everybody who types in earrings. So what you're requesting is data based on that exact combination of words. If you type in earring, eRank is going to show you data for people who have typed in earring. If you type in earrings, eRank is going to give you data on everybody who has typed in earrings. But Etsy puts those things together.
Yes.
So...
That answers Barbara's question there.
So, Etsy puts those things together. Etsy knows that if you're searching for earring, that you're also searching for earrings. So it doesn't matter. If you put in earring in your listing, Etsy will still rank you for earrings. Okay? But you should still go with whichever one eRank shows the most search volume for, because you'll get an exact match for that. Okay? Yes. So if you're with earring and you notice nobody's searching for it on through eRank, and earrings, people are searching for it, you'll still show in searches for people who are searching for earring, because Etsy combines them.
Yes.
eRank does not. Always go with the one that has more searches when it comes to plurals. And if you think that nobody is searching for the thing that you have typed in, make sure that you try plurals. Make sure that you try different variations of the word.
Try the singular version of it. And also try splitting things up. Like, a lot of the time, it's usually just people, and this goes back to the previous one, it's usually just people being too specific. Like, we'll have somebody say they want blue boho pearl mermaid necklaces. And it's just too much. You're putting too much into the system. And even with some of those very, very specific keyword searches, throwing an S on the end of it is the difference between no data and data. So just give each search a couple of different tries. If you're not giving any data or getting back any data from eRank, try it a couple of different ways. It doesn't mean that eRank is always going to have data for everything. That's not how it works. If nobody's searching for something, nobody's searching for something. But try splitting it up. If you're searching for boho earrings, just search boho. See what people are actually looking for through boho. If boho earrings gives you nothing back, just search earrings and see what the top things hitting on earrings are, and then narrow down your search from there.
What Pam said too.
Yeah. Also, in international spelling, personalized versus personalized. We're working on that too. I've actually got a list of a couple hundred terms, and I don't know what else I can say with the data and stuff for eRank, so I'll just leave that at that. We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working on the international spelling part. UK stuff, you guys will probably come first, followed by you German and French folks out there.
Yeah, and another thing is to make sure that if the word changes drastically, like earring and earrings, that's just adding an S. But if we're talking about wolf versus wolves, the word almost completely changes. So you need to also make sure that you're thinking in scenarios like that. Wolf doesn't turn into wolves. And Etsy, I'm pretty sure when it comes to plurals, they might be able to recognize wolf and wolves, but because those have changed so much at their core, Etsy might see those separately.
It's still a stretch, so it's best to go off of like she was kind of saying earlier, if you sell like a singular earring, and earrings is the one that has the data for it. As long as there's data for one of them, you're okay using either, but something like wolves and wolf That's a little too specific. Go with the one that's being searched for more.
Absolutely.
But
that's our 10, guys. That's our list of 10.
For now.
So feel free. Yeah, we'll probably update it because we've got several videos like this. Sorry that we're sounding a little sick today. Our allergies have been awful because it was like 80 degrees and then we had snow.
It snowed 2 days in a row and it stuck.
Yeah.
It was 40 degrees outside and it snowed so much that it stuck. We had it was like almost 3 inches of snow sitting on our table outside.
Yeah. So we're a little sick and we're a little woozy today. But if you have questions about Etsy SEO, we're here to answer. We've also got Pam in the chat, and Pam also works for eRank.
Hi, Pam.
So make sure that you go to Pam's channel and subscribe as well. She has tons of Etsy SEO, Etsy videos, eRank videos, all on her channel. And she'll be streaming on Sunday. If for some reason you think of a question over the weekend, you want to hang out with her, she'll be streaming around the same time that we stream. Usually it'll be an hour earlier than what we stream on Fridays. So 11 a.m. Eastern time is when she streams.
You know, it's funny.
What?
I know my mustache is blonde because in low quality mode, I can't even see it on our stream, and it's thick.
Mustache boy.
Mustache boy. I understand that you said not to worry about eRank grades, but what about the exclamatory red icon when we use highly searched tags?
Wait, what? Oh,
Were you not listening at all there?
No, I did. What's the for instance? Continue.
For instance, kids' socks is super popular, and I assume competitive. Is it still a good idea to include that tag regardless of high usage?
Yeah, so here's the thing. When it comes to high competition on any keyword, whoever has the best overall customer and marketplace experience score is going to be able to rank higher. I recommend using a combination of both high competition keywords and keywords that are a little less competitive but still have decent searches. And the reason for that is because if you have a lot of people who are shopping from you, who are leaving positive reviews, who are finding you organically in search, you don't have cases against your shop, and you have a good standing with Etsy, that typically means that your listing quality scores are good, your customer marketplace experience score is good, and the number of competition isn't going to matter as much. Because if your listing quality scores and customer and marketplace experience score is higher than those competitors, you're going to rank above them. So your best bet is to go ahead and get a couple high competition keywords on the radar, get a couple of them in your listings, because someday your goal is to be able to fit the shoes, right? Someday you could rank for those words, and wouldn't it be nice to be able to rank for those really high competition?
Nice.
And not to mention the keywords that are higher competition are going to mix and match with other keywords that you've also used in your listing for broad matching purposes. So if you know that sterling silver earrings, we're
out of it today, guys.
If you know that sterling silver earrings is a high competition term and you're probably not going to be able to rank for it, but it defines exactly what your products are, they are sterling silver earrings, go ahead and put sterling silver earrings in your listing, because if you also have natural gemstone jewelry as a tag, sterling silver earrings will broad match with natural gemstone jewelry in a number of combinations. Etsy's going to mix them and match them. You're going to get natural sterling silver gemstone earrings. You're going to get natural gemstones, sterling silver jewelry, and any variation of that. If this is confusing to you, make sure that you go back and watch my Etsy SEO game show episode of the Friday Bean, because I go way more in depth into broad matching and exact matching your keywords, and that would be a really good resource for you. But don't be afraid to use a couple high competition keywords. Just don't make your entire listing high competition keywords if possible.
I want to go ahead and shout out our Twitch thing for tonight while we're at peak audience before people start to bounce out. We are going to be streaming on Twitch gaming.
If you got casual guys,
yeah. If you don't like your kiddos hearing dirty words, I probably wouldn't have it on, or maybe wear headphones, because we probably will not be filtering
We're not
ourselves.
filtering ourselves.
We're not filtering ourselves at all. We'll probably have a couple of drinks and just kind of hang out. Our first stream will be either tonight or tomorrow. It's not planned, and it's just for like testing stuff. We might play a couple of rounds. We'll be playing Outriders for a little while, and then we'll probably move on to some other stuff. So it's twitch.tv, right? Twitch.tv/.
Just pull the link up. It's right over there.
Yeah, so I'll go ahead and post the link to it, so if you guys want to,
We've got a lot of alphas who have asked us to stream our gaming on Twitch, and we finally decided to do it because honestly we need some anxiety relief. Oops. And we need some social. We haven't had a lot of social interaction since the pandemic has started, and we would like to hang out with you guys in an environment that isn't so businessy. So if you're cool with saying wordy dirds,
lots and lots of them, because I cuss a lot,
and you want to watch me make a fool out of myself playing a game that I'm not very good at and see how we interact as a couple when we're not on camera.
I get very angry when I'm playing.
Feel free to hang.
Yeah,
all right.
Go ahead and go follow us over there. It'll probably be just us in each corner playing, and it'll probably be my screen being captured right away until we get a capture computer built.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, let's get into questions, guys. Give me some...
I don't want to... How do you use eRank to plan products to make?
Ooh, that's a good one.
That is a good one. I don't think we actually do that, but
so
you can.
Yeah, so if you... All right, if you already have an Etsy shop, obviously you need to kind of stay within your theme. If you are a jewelry shop, don't just go and make, shoes because you see that they're trending. But I recommend going into the Trend Buzz report under the Reports tab and look at what is trending in the top 100 keywords for your category. Do a bit of research into some of the things that are super duper trending at the time, and make sure that you're also looking at keyword data for products that you're thinking about making before you make them. Go into the Keyword Explorer and type in a couple words related to the thing that you want to make. Look at the trend graph to see what time of year people are searching for the specific type of product that you're trying to make, and make sure that you're not too specific about the keywords that you're typing in, because for example, sterling silver and turquoise earrings might not be trending, and you might feel discouraged to make sterling silver and turquoise earrings. Mm-hmm. But if you were to pop in there and just search turquoise or turquoise jewelry, you might see that a lot of people are searching for that term, which means that your sterling silver turquoise earrings are probably pretty trendy if people are searching for those other terms. So just make sure that you're checking all variations. But if you want to see the top 100 things that are trending in your industry, TrendBuzz is the place to go.
eRank question.
Let's do it.
Keywords that are quote-unquote maybe long tail. Mm-hmm. Could you explain the maybe? I've had a hard time deciding if to use them or not.
So the long tail indicator on the far right side of eRank, we do our best to figure out if the term is long tail, but it's not always right. Long tail keywords basically just point to a very specific type of product, usually identifiable by having more than one word, okay? But, for example, women's tank top, that's 3 words, but I wouldn't consider it a long tail keyword because it's not very specific. It's just who it's for and then the product. Even though it's 3 words, 2 of the words are what the product is. So, women's tank top isn't really a long tail keyword, even though it has 3 words. Uh-huh. But if I were to say women's wool tank top, that's 4 words, that's pointing to a very specific type of product. Do you want to give me an example of what your if you have a keyword?
Toss one out there. We'll take a look at it.
Yeah, because long tail keywords, it's almost you just kind of got to put your thinking cap on and decide whether or not the keyword combination points to a very specific type of product, or if it could allude to several types of product. For example, what's another good one? I can't think of anything off the hand. Oh, maybe like a acrylic phone case. That's 3, but you could probably get it even more narrow than that. I guess that would be a long tail keyword. I would need examples.
Boho jewelry.
I think that one could be niched down more. Boho jewelry.
Gift for friend.
Gift for friend, again, it's really broad and it's not really pointing to a specific type of product. What you want to look for is purchase intent, okay? So think in the mind of a shopper. If they're typing gift for friend into Etsy, they don't know what they want. They want to see a big search page of a bunch of different types of product, but they have no idea what they want to buy. That typically isn't a keyword that's going to have a lot of purchase intent. It's great to throw it into your listing for the people who are just browsing, especially if you can't think of any other keywords to put in your listing. But gift for friend does not point to a specific type of product. Therefore, nobody who's searching for it knows exactly what they want to buy. And the people who find you probably don't have a lot of purchase intent. Boho jewelry, that's getting a little bit more specific. But what type of boho jewelry? What specifically is the type of boho jewelry? You can still put it in your listings. I'm not saying it's not a good keyword to use, but you could probably add a little bit to it, still rank for boho jewelry, and get extra keywords in there. For example, maybe you're trying to rank for boho jewelry. You could maybe make it, I don't know, boho jewelry for summer music festivals. I don't know. I'm just thinking about how summer music festivals are probably going to be returning this year, and that might be a way to still use boho jewelry but turn it into a longer long tail keyword.
Blue gemstone boho necklace.
Yeah, blue gemstone boho necklace. And boho necklace on its own isn't necessarily super long tail, but
Pam made a good comment too. She said, look at the other metrics, search and click-through rate, etc., as well as the long tail keyword thing.
Absolutely. Pair the data. Don't just look at one piece of data. That's why we give you so much. And I know that it seems super overwhelming, but you got to stack these things onto each other. And if you've got eRank Basic or Pro, you have access to the keyword list feature. It's down in the bottom left corner when you're performing keyword research. You can click the little gray stars next to any keyword to add them to your list. Add all those keywords to a keyword list, and then you'll have them all on one page where you can compare them and really choose which ones you want to test in your own listings. And you can see all of that data side by side.
Got a lot of tools at your disposal. You can't get to the location using just the GPS. You got to turn the car on and drive there too. That's good.
That's a good one.
That's a good one, isn't it? I just came up with that because I'm tired. What happened to Alphas After Dark? Never got a link. See, every time we start planning it, we just get so passionate and we never actually follow through.
We did one episode of Alphas After Dark. We're still trying to figure out where we want to go with it. We just haven't had another episode.
Yeah.
If you're on the email list for Alphas After Dark, you will be notified when we do another one. We're trying to think of what the heck to do with it because we've got a lot of 18 plus categories that people want. Some of those are of like adult nature. Some of those are of the 420 nature, and we don't know how to best help everybody in a way that's going to make the most sense. Because
that also stays within YouTube's realm of legality.
So
because we also risk our channel too. So
we're not stopping Alphas After Dark.
We're just figuring it out.
Yeah, for those who don't know what that is, we've got a lot of sellers in the 18 plus category who do
shout out to y'all freaks.
To the freaks. We've got, alphas who do like BDSM products and things. And we need to be able to help them because it's not fair that we can talk about candles and jewelry and talk openly and answer your guys' questions. But then we have sellers who are in adult industries who don't get any help, and there are no channels that specialize in it. We just don't know where we want to take that content and how to best help them.
And how to make it any different than what we already give here. Because a lot of our advice can be directed over, but some people need specific advice. Yeah. So, anyway.
Feel free to shoot us an email at starla@handmadealphaacademy.com if you are a part of the Alphas After Dark community and you have some suggestions for content that you'd like to see so we can get another episode on the calendar.
Yes.
All right, what we got?
Erotic writer girl. Woot woot. One of my other shops is a Gothic greeting card store. Want to optimize my quote-unquote item bar. Any suggestions? I was thinking something like Gothic Valentine, Gothic Christmas, etc.
Yeah. Look it up in eRank. because Etsy tells us that each individual shop section is going to count almost like its own little landing page, and that they can be keyword optimized. Don't keep yourself up at night trying to keyword optimize them. I would use keywords that you already know work. But don't spend too much time on it, because ultimately it has weight, but it doesn't have a tremendous amount of weight. Just do what's going to be best for your buyers. Sort by, if you're doing Gothic greeting cards, sort by holiday. If I know that I'm like, my mom is still a little goth kid like me, if I know that my mom's birthday is coming up and I go to a Gothic greeting card shop, I don't want to look at Christmas cards and Valentine's Day cards. I just want to sort to birthday cards.
A little goth kid like me, she says, wearing leggings and a yellow tweed plaid shirt.
Hey, goth isn't a look.
Yes,
okay?
it is. It is.
Goth is a mindset.
Okay.
We should post our trip pants pictures in the group for our...
You should just be like a European Gothic. Be like a classic Hungarian goth. Hello!
I'm a hungry goth.
Yeah,
I haven't finished my quest bar yet.
Alpha's After Dark sounds perfect for the cocktail stream, too. Yeah.
We thought about doing that. YouTube doesn't like it when you drink on camera.
They just demonetize it.
Oh, we don't monetize it anyway.
Let's see here. Do I have to be a niche to be successful with your Etsy shop? I can't figure out one specific thing to make and sell.
You don't have to be, but it makes it a heck of a lot easier. Here's the thing. You're speaking as a seller and you're trying to appeal to your needs. I can't figure out what I want to do. I can't figure out what is going to make me happy. What you should be asking yourself is, what's going to make my customers happy? What is it that my customers are going to want me to make? What void in the marketplace am I going to fill with my product? You got to start kind of thinking like a business. And I know that that's hard, but when I see these like passion sellers who... I mean, you should be passionate, definitely. But these passion crafters who are like, oh, I don't care if I sell anything. I just want to make jewelry and shoes and purses and wall art and clocks and desks and I'm just naming everything in the room. But they want to make all these things. But when someone arrives at their shop, they're like, oh, I don't know who this shop is meant for. There's no emotion there. There's no way to tell me as a shopper that storefront is meant for me. We just talked about a seller who makes Gothic greeting cards. I immediately knew who that was for, and I had a recipient in mind. I'm like, oh yeah, my mom. My mom would love a Gothic birthday card. But if someone goes into your storefront and there's nothing cohesive that holds it all together, it's just a commodity shop. And people tend to not see as much value in products like that are looped into a commodity, that aren't held together with a cohesive element. Now, as I say so many times, you only need a theme to hold it together. If you do print on demand and you make blankets and hoodies and t-shirts and mugs and clocks and coasters and all these things, but they all have a similar style of print. Maybe like I like to use, you only print things with chihuahuas on them, and chihuahuas is your theme. Then you don't have to have all the same products. You just need to make sure that all your products have chihuahuas on them, because chihuahuas is the overwhelming theme of your shop. So if you make a lot of things, who's the target customer? You could make a ton of different products for a, bohemian home, where everything is, I don't know, macrame, and macrame is the theme, but you make macrame wall art and macrame earrings and macrame plant hangers, but it's a lot of different products, but they're held together cohesively. So what is the cohesive element? Who are you trying to sell to? What problem are you trying to solve for them? And from there, it makes your life easier, because you're more marketable and people see you as your products being worth more, because they see you as the specialist in that industry.
I said only a non-goth would say goth is just a look. After you turn 18, it is. Because I was way more goth than this girl ever was.
I was emo. I'm going to post all my little emo pictures.
Yeah.
I never did the scene kid thing, though.
No, I never did the scene kid thing, and when emo started to be a thing, that's when I started to beat people up. Can you?
He was a mean little boy.
No, I wasn't. I was the guy that stuck up for everybody. That's a joke. Can you still see your competition sales in the $5.99 plan in E-Rank? I don't think you get the only benefit for the $9.99 over the $5.99, I believe, is just quotas. I
Yeah.
don't think you get access to any other tools.
Yeah, you don't get any. There are no extra tools with the Pro plan. You just get.
Correct us if we're wrong, Pam, because I feel like maybe we're missing something, but I'm pretty sure it's just increased quotas.
Yeah, that's the only difference.
I have a pair of earrings that are boho, and they have leather, druzy, and apatite gemstones. I'm having a hard time with keywords for them that actually describe it.
Don't try to
don't try to describe it. Make sure that you put in there that what it is, but then after that, stop trying to describe it.
Yeah, I would never search any of that. I will search things like.
I would still have it in there just so people know what it is when they're clicking on it.
Yeah.
But don't make your entire title and tags out of that.
Yeah, I would try things, I would try things that are more related to the target customer that you're trying to appeal to, rather than trying to find a million ways to describe the materials that you're using. Customers don't search via materials. Sellers search via materials. Customers don't search via materials. They want to just know the vibe that the product gives off. Maybe they're searching leather earrings by itself or gemstone earrings by itself, but that combination, it's going to be really hard to aim for. Yeah.
How do we get on the Alphas After Dark list if we didn't get the link?
Go to my Instagram. Username is Starla, the letter K, and more. Starla K, more. Thank you, Mark. And go into my link tree in my bio. All of my links, including Alphas After Dark,
I posted it.
Adapt, which is the Etsy shop, the brand that Amber and I are building. All of our freebies, they're all linked within there. So if you ever need a link for anything, my Instagram bio is where I hide everything.
Oh, boy. Hi, guys. What's going on with Etsy? For the first time in 7 months, I haven't had 2 sales. Man, you ain't the only one. Etsy's slow right now.
Yeah, Etsy.
They have a lull every year, and this year just happens to be a year after a pandemic is kind of winding down. So it's especially slow.
Check out my video from, I think, 2 weeks ago. We did an episode of the Friday Bean called Brace Yourself for Slow Etsy Sales. This happens every year, though. Spring and summer.
It's just an especially bad one.
Yep, spring and summer are slow. And if you joined in 2020, you joined during a historical high for Etsy just because everybody was home because of the pandemic and everyone was online shopping. Now things have regulated. They're going back to normal. You can anticipate every spring and summer on Etsy unless you sell like wedding things or flip-flops or bikinis or something that, birthdays where people have birthdays no matter what time of year it is. But you can anticipate a slower sales season. September, though, is when things start to climb back up. So use the next few months to prep, because starting in September, people start thinking about the holidays, believe it or not. And that's when we start to see the very first searches for holiday products. So use this time to prepare for the flood.
Any tips specifically for digital product sellers? I mean,
totally, but I gotta get a little bit more specific.
Yeah, you gotta, because the thing is like, overall, it's not much different than a physical product seller. I mean, obviously, you don't have to ship anything.
I mean, there's infinity tips for digital product sellers. I need to specific. Do you mean SEO? Do you mean in getting people to buy? Do you mean in displaying your products? I'll give you my number one tip for digital product sellers, and that is to make sure that on your thumbnail you have right on that thumbnail photo that they are receiving a digital product.
Yeah.
I have so many alphas who get a bad review because they have, somebody who buys it and thinks that they're going to receive something in the mail, and then they never do. So just make sure that you have that right on your thumbnail photo. And my last little piece for digital sellers is to, even though you could list your quantity as 999, list a lower quantity than what you have. It helps to build the scarcity, and you can always relist more. You can always add more to the quantity, but try listing 1 or 2 or 3, and just see if that helps your sales at all. Because if people see that there's only 3 left, they get that little alert from Etsy that says, oh, there's only 3 left and 100 people have it in their cart right now. They're going to race off to buy that thing because maybe they think that you won't restock it. I know that sounds like a dirty thing to do, but every business does that. So
I make jewelry embroidered in polymer clay and beaded. 3 different styles of jewelry. Is it okay to put them in one shop? As long as the cohesive theme is the same, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I don't want to go through because I know that this is going to start a chain reaction of people sending me, I make this, 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 and this. Can it fit in the shop? I don't know until I see it. I would have to look at it. And even me, that's just my opinion on its own. You should never go based on one person's opinion. You should.
If you're gonna look at it, take a step back, look at the shop, and say, you know, does it feel like I'm shopping at like a truck stop? Like when you go to like a truck stop, or you go to like one of those, what are they called? One of those markets where they sell like everything, and you look at it and you say, I don't know what they sell here. Like this is just a mishmash of everything. If it feels like that, then it's too much. If it feels cohesive and it feels like they know that like you specialize in this thing, not just jewelry, but like, do they specialize in this theme? Do they specialize in this type of product? Do they specialize in this kind of jewelry? As long as it's cohesive and it doesn't feel like you're just trying to do everything, then you're probably okay. And that goes for every product category.
Yeah, feel free if you want to like panel some people, post product photos in the Handmade Alpha Facebook community. That's linked down below in the description. Post a couple photos and say, hey, do these products feel like they go together? Does this feel cohesive to you guys? And let one of, or I said one, but let our 9,000 alphas give you feedback on how your products fit together or don't fit together and how you could potentially make them fit together. So.
Excuse me. Jen said, thank you, Starla, Marc, and Pam, and everyone here. My sales have been chugging along, and growth has been good this year, and that's all because of your tutelage.
Congrats.
You're very welcome, and congrats. Since it's slow right now, is this a good time to launch a new shop? There's never a good time to launch a new shop.
Never a good or bad time. I would say do it now.
Yeah.
Because it takes 60 to 90 days for your SEO and your keywords to really kick in.
Which means right around the end of summer, as long as things pick up like they usually do, then it'll be the perfect time.
Yeah.
We get this question quite a lot, and it's kind of like investing. We can't really tell you if it's going to be a good time. Do I wish I would have invested in Doge 2 years ago? Hell yeah, I do. But we can't tell you when a good time is going to be. Is it probably going to be a good time in about 90 days? Based on that last few years? Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but there's no right or wrong time. Just start. Just start. Just get it out there as soon as you can and start.
Goodness.
All right.
I'm sorry. I'm yawning a lot. I meant about, so this is the one that was asking about the digital stuff. I meant about digital products SEO. Is it worth to put a tag like printable planner because it's overflowing with competition? I had some more specific tags, but still this one is the main. Also, does the order of how I put the tags and keywords matter?
All right, so let's start with the first question. If it's a printable planner, then you need to, despite what the competition is, state what the product is. If it is a printable planner, you should absolutely put printable planner in there. What you don't need to do is repeat printable. You don't need to say printable planner for women, printable planner for. You only need to put printable planner in there once, and then I would recommend trying to find other keywords. Printable planner, organization tools for the home. I don't know. Make sure that you're doing your keyword research, obviously. But yeah, even if something is high competition, if the keywords 100% accurately describe what your product is, don't worry as much about the competition, because in time, through repeat sales, through getting positive reviews, through having a good standing with Etsy, hopefully your listing quality scores will grow. That is basically Etsy ranking you higher in search and putting you above those competitors after you've kind of proven yourself to Etsy as a reliable source. You don't have to work as hard once Etsy kind of sees you as a reliable source. They tend to rank you higher. So get a couple high competition terms in there that describe exactly what your products are, and then try to get a couple, medium competition terms that might not have as many searches but might be a little bit more narrow, and just, it's all about balance and testing. There's no way that I can say this term will do well because I can't see into the future. What you need to do is test, use the eRank change tracker to see how the changes you make to your listings affect your views and favorites and sales over 60 to 90 days, And then if you notice that things aren't working for you, take some keywords out and test again and try again, 60 to 90 days. I know that it seems like a long time to wait for a test period, but that's how computers work. That's how search algorithms work. So you've got to give it a little bit of time. And then you said, does the order of how I put my tags and keywords matter or doesn't matter? Order tags doesn't matter. Does not matter. If you can exact match, some phrases within a tag, that's fine. But the order that you actually type them in to your tag section doesn't matter. Titles, Etsy tells us that we should put the keywords that most accurately describe what our products are should be towards the front of our title, because that's what shoppers are going to see in search. If they type in that they want to find a printable planner, and the very first keyword that they see on your listing is gifts for mom, they're going to be really confused, okay? So you want to make sure that whatever your product is, that's the keyword that I would lead your title with, because you only get to see like a little bit of your title on a search page. Lead with whatever your product is so that shoppers aren't put off. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. What about the seasonal wreaths that sell? Should I expect slow? We don't know.
Once again, we don't have we can't predict on other industries. We can't predict what the future is going to look like.
Yep.
If you have questions, please go watch our slow sales video, because that's going to help a lot, and it's going to, I mean, only you can tell us if your sales have slowed down. Then you probably anticipate some slower sales over the next few months, especially since there's not a lot of holidays for seasonal wreaths. I mean, maybe 4th of July if you live within the U.S., but other than that, things will probably slow down for wreaths, I'm assuming. But like I said, it's just an assumption.
So if Etsy algorithms take 60 days, should we start listing items for Halloween and Christmas in July to be a step ahead? Not necessarily.
A lot of people do, though.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do. I mean, here's the thing, like with an established shop, when it comes to holiday-specific items, you're probably not going to be relying a lot on organic SEO anyways. You're going to be advertising your Christmas launches and things to your already established, hopefully off-platform social media audience, email list, and those people. And a lot of your sales will probably be coming from that. I mean, posting stuff for Halloween 60 days beforehand, yeah, of course. And then if you post stuff around Halloween that's supposed to sell for Christmas, yeah.
In terms of Etsy, yeah, you'll probably do a little bit better in terms of the algorithm by listing those products as early as possible. You might not make a lot of sales for them right away. There's no real way to tell what the better thing to do, because it is 100% dependent on, for one, your overall customer and marketplace experience score and where Etsy's ranking you, and if they're putting you in front of customers who are searching for the type of products they are selling. For two, it's going to depend on your audience. Do you have a following off platform? Do you have an email list? Do you have a social media following who's going to be purchasing your products directly? And three, do your target customers typically buy those types of products early? For example, if someone sells fabric with holiday prints on them, they're likely going to start selling those products way before the holiday, because anybody who's buying Christmas fabric is doing it so they can make a Christmas craft, and they need to make that Christmas craft well in advance of the holiday. So that type of shop should list months and months and months in advance. If you're doing Christmas party decor, I doubt anybody's going to be shopping for Christmas party decor in July, unless they're doing like a Christmas in July thing. But it really is a matter of testing. And that's all Etsy SEO is. It is a science experiment that's going to vary depending on every single unique shop owner, based on things like their customer and marketplace experience score, like their listing quality scores. And the only way that you're going to know what's going to work for you is to test and track. Test it and then track it with the changes tracker tool. And if you're worried about it, maybe just list one. Just try listing one and track the changes for it and see how people are engaging with the listing.
Yeah. I'm starting to get to that space out point.
Yeah, we start to kind of tire out after a while.
Boop, 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 ba-doo, doo, 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 doo. Can I link a YouTube video channel on Etsy's description so customers can watch a short video instead of reading. Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with that. Not a lot of people are going to do that, so don't be upset.
Well, don't do that and then not write a description.
Yeah, definitely. If you're going to do that, you need to do both.
Yeah, do both. But Etsy tells us that we can do, like, for example, if you need to put like directions on how to use a product or like maybe like wash instructions and things, Etsy says that we can put YouTube links. We just can't send them to a website where they could buy the product elsewhere. So if you've got like your own standalone website where you sell the product, you can't link your website to the product, you know, where they could buy it off of Etsy, because then you're competing with Etsy.
What is too large of a price range for an Etsy shop?
That
tree fitty.
That is not an obstacle. It's not when it comes to an Etsy shop.
Price in the top 10% of your competition.
Right. It boils down to what you sell. If you sell pencils, you probably can't sell your pencils for over maybe $15 at most.
Yeah. Look at your competition. If your quality is up to par with your competition, and you got to be honest with yourself, and maybe have a friend that's like brutally honest, like will tell you if a product sucks or not. That's really crappy to say. I always get hate for saying things like that, but be honest with yourself. And then look at your competition, find the top 10% ish of people that are in your industry, and price around what they're pricing at. Be fair about it. Don't just price at the top highest possible price possible, unless you're you know your products are the best.
Right, and also make sure that everything aligns. Do your photos look just as good as those people who are at the top? Make sure that you match up perfectly to them in terms of aesthetics. Because
I've said this before, your products are, and some people might disagree with me, but your products are only as good as the picture that you post of them.
That's true.
The perception of what your product is going to look like will stick, regardless of what it looks like when you open it. It's going to stick. And it should be one of those things where your picture should almost be better than what the product looks like when they get it. Because it's going to give them this perception that they're receiving something that's absolutely amazing. And you want that, and you want your buyer to have that kind of experience. They open it, they're excited to open it, and they open it. But your product should also meet that expectation.
Yeah.
So that's why I said you need to be brutally honest with yourself. If you can't be brutally honest with yourself, then this is probably not going to be the industry for you. And
in Handmade Alpha Academy, we test this theory about designer styling and photography, where I do an entire photo shoot with a Cheez-It to show you guys how I could
yes.
really, the Cheddar collection, and I do this beautiful photo shoot with a Cheez-It to show my designer Cheez-It. And the alphas still talk about the designer Cheez-It because you can display your product at top tier pricing, or you can align your products with top tier pricing as long as you brand it as being valuable and you display it in that way. So
yes. Whoopee 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 whoopee. There's a conversation taking place here.
That's good.
Good. I'm not sure what the time limit is for Etsy product videos, though.
Etsy product you mean listing videos?
Like the listing videos? I think they tell you. It's like 10 seconds, isn't it? 5 seconds?
Pam, are you
Pam
here?
knows. Pam.
If not, go to erank.com/blog, and we have a blog about listing videos in there. Look for that, and I'm sure that the time frame's in there. But there's a lot of examples if you want to see a bunch of people's listing videos. We've got little GIFs and videos like right in the blog post.
Tulsi said 16 seconds.
16? Perfect.
Cool. Chantel said, "I'll be brutally honest for anyone that needs it." I used to be that way, but then people started hating me, so I'm not brutally honest anymore. I'm a lot more brutal than she is, though.
He was in the military, guys. Everybody was so mean to Mark.
It's so crazy how much hate you get for just being honest. People hate honesty.
Well,
everybody's saying 15 seconds.
15?
Sure.
15?
Something like that.
I love the Cheddar
I just made
collection.
one that was 28 seconds. Oh, I thought mine was longer. Okay. Well, that's the end of the question.
Guys, we've got links down below. Free stuff, free resources, PDFs. They come off a lot more organized than what Mark and I have been today. We apologize. We have been very sick.
Yeah, I don't know what our deal is today.
Down below, we've got We've got the summer survival guide. If you need help with summer sales because summer sales slow down, make sure that you get that checklist. That's going to teach you what to do to help optimize your sales during the summer, and it's going to teach you what you can do in the meantime to prepare for the busy season, which typically starts in September. We've also got Amber Marie's wholesale cheat sheet. That's going to help you to send out a really nice spreadsheet to potential wholesalers that you want to work with, or potential people who want to wholesale your products in their stores. It's basically going to be a nice organized order form that you can customize with your own branding. You can send it to them, and it's even going to add up an invoice for those people. Now, make sure that you watch the video that is on that page, because if you try to request access to edit that document, I will not do it for you, because that's not how you use it.
Watch the video.
Watch the video.
Don't be lazy.
Watch the video. It tells you exactly what to do, and everybody is not watching the video. So watch the video. That way you can get that nice freebie that Amber has made for you. Also down below are, 2021 marketing calendars. If you want to know when to market, when to launch collections, when the best time to host a sale is, holidays to optimize for, holidays that you shouldn't do any marketing for because they're not good holidays to market on, holidays that you should plan in advance for, and good days to do things like giveaways on social media. Make sure that you grab those calendars. We are already more than halfway through.
There.
Almost done with April. So we've still got May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December's calendars. Grab those down below and start using them. Pin them up in your office somewhere. And then we've also got my 5-star customer service strategy. Those are my swipe files that thousands of alphas use in order to gain more 5-star reviews. And keep in mind, 5-star reviews are important because they help your listing quality scores and your customer and marketplace experience score, which helps you to rank higher in search. That helps your search ranking. That is a part of SEO. So make sure that you grab those. All the information about them is down below. Lastly, Amber, Marie, and I are building a new Etsy shop. Swarovski Crystal has put me in quite the position with my Etsy shop that I've been running for 9 years, because they have gotten rid of all DIY components, which was my primary supply that I used for my jewelry. But we're alphas. We adapt. So we're launching a new brand called AlphaDapt. We've been marketing it all for I think the last 3 weeks now. We've been working on this since November. We haven't even revealed what we're making for you guys, but I hope that you'll sign up for the list because I want you guys to really study the tactics that we're using. Study the emails that we send. Study the photos that we send. Study our marketing. Study our wording. Study things like the countdown timers. And follow me on social media at my Facebook page is Starla and the Handmade Alphas. Look at the type of marketing that I'm doing for these products, because you can steal my ideas. Steal my ideas and use them. We are actually following Handmade Alpha Academy to a T to launch these collections. And this is the course that I sell. So we're following literally what I teach and showing you how it works. And lastly, guys, Handmade Alpha Academy will be opening on June 14th. It only opens for 10 days. We open it twice a year, once June 14th and once on December 1st, 10 days per enrollment. That's only 20 days out of the year that you can enroll. If you are on any of my email lists, you will get $1,000 discount, making the price of the course from it would be $1,997, but you can get it for $997. That's a one-time payment and you're in for life. Or you can opt for our 6-month payment plan, which with the discount is $199 per month for 6 months. And then after that, you are also in for life. That course is self-paced. You can take it on your own time. You can come back to it whenever you want to. If you want to start it in June and then you can't get to it until January, you can start anytime. Not to mention, alphas who enroll in HAA in June are ready for the holidays if they dedicate 1 hour a day for around 60 days. You can typically complete the course and be holiday ready. And those are our alphas that you see that have massive Black Friday launches. For example, Paula Haas, the year after enrolling, she did June enrollment for Handmade Alpha Academy, and then for Black Friday had a $10,000 launch. Come on, guys. So you got to get in there. You got to work really hard. There is no magic success button. It is going to be a lot of work. But if you get in there and work really hard, those results will pay off. And then, guys, this weekend, either tonight or tomorrow, Mark and I are going to be gaming. We're going to be gaming on Twitch. We've never done that before. We're super excited.
It's at twitch.tv/just okay, I guess.
Yeah, come follow us on Twitch.
Because we're just okay, I guess.
Just okay, I guess. We're going to, and I've got branding over there if you guys want to see how I branded it.
We don't know if that's good yet. It's literally our first time on Twitch, so we'll figure it out.
Yeah, but check it out. Come watch us game. We're probably going to say a lot of bad words. Going to shoot some people in
Maybe
Outriders.
don't say that like that on our main channel, because they've probably already demonetized it for that.
Not real people, game people.
You just say the word shoot, and that's enough.
Oh, shoot.
Shoot.
We're gonna go play a violent video game.
We are. We'll probably play lots of different violent video games. Hell, we might even get in VR a little bit.
But you can laugh at me because I'm not very good at video games, and Mark's very good, like pro level gamer. So pretty funny.
Means I'm a nerd. And no, we're not going to be playing things like Call of Duty or any of the other stupid drop-in shooter games because they're trash.
Yeah, I would just die. That would be fun. The Alpha Adapt, do we sign up for something or do we just follow it? I'm not seeing the link, but I got in late. It's down below. It's in its own little compartment. Look for, there's a black heart emoji, a red question mark emoji, and another black heart emoji. I think that I just say we're working on something or see what Amber and I are up to. That's where you sign up for that. But you do need to sign up. Otherwise, you won't know anything about it. Did you guys have your shots yet? Not yet, but we are...
I don't drink.
We're waiting until the line isn't like an hour long. There are tons of places in our area, but like...
We don't go anywhere.
Yeah,
we don't do anything.
I would rather not be exposed to somebody who is sick waiting in line and just wait for the lines to get shorter
I think literally the only place that I'm around other people other than dropping our kid off is band practice, and I'm the only one that's not vaccinated, so...
But we're planning on it. We just want to wait until the lines get a little shorter so we're not sitting in the car for 2 hours. And
that's pretty much it, right?
Adriana, can I see my Etsy rank on E-Rank? You can, and we talked about it in this video. So when this concludes,
back and watch.
Yeah, make sure that you go back and watch the replay.
And if you haven't yet, go ahead and click the subscribe button down below, and then click the little bell icon so you're notified every time we go live and when we upload a video. Hit the thumbs up button. If you haven't hit the thumbs up button, hit it, because there's only 46 likes and there's 140 of you here, so there can be at least 100 more.
Yeah, guys, come on. We dedicate an hour and a half almost every Friday, and we have for the last 4 years, and all we want is you to click something. Just give us a like.
And I turned 30 in a week, man.
Mark's birthday episode, that's next Friday.
Yeah, we haven't decided on what we're going to do yet.
Mark's going to do the birthday bean this Friday.
It'll probably just be another regular bean.
Another regular
She
bean.
wants to make it exciting, but that ain't my thing. Y'all know me.
Birthday bean. Birthday bean.
You can make an appointment online. I did that, and they were ready for me the time I signed up. You should be able to make an appointment online. It might be different in your area, so I don't know. We haven't bothered because we don't go anywhere.
We're going to.
We're going to. Don't worry. We're not anti-vaxxers. I'm actually anti-vaxxer. So no worries there, dog.
We're very antisocial, and I would like to wait until the lines aren't so long. So I clicked for scritches. Yes, click
the likes for scritches. We're just delaying the stream.
Yeah, guys. We hope that you enjoyed this. Sorry that we weren't feeling very well, but hopefully by next week we're feeling better.
I'm curious to see if we have any followers yet.
Oh, do we have followers? I want to know if we have followers. Who followed us?
Who followed us on Twitch? Anybody follow it? We have 1 follower. Wow.
Guys.
Yay. Go follow us on Twitch. Twitch.tv/justokay, I guess.
Grab the full link.
I just posted it like a second ago.
Yeah, but that wasn't clickable because the HTTP wasn't in it. That's
the wrong chat. Because the chat looks exactly the same as YouTube. Twitch.tv/justokay, I guess.
Woo!
Go follow us on Twitch if you want to watch us have drinks and play video games and yell and be inappropriate.
We don't drink, so
it'll probably be pretty silly.
We don't drink it.
We're gonna claw it up, dog.
We don't drink it all, and we're gonna just go get some White Claws and try to play video games because I work too much. For those who don't know,
and she never friggin' relaxes, so I've been forcing her to sit down and play video games.
Even when I say I'm gonna go relax, I start a new project or I start a new business to relax. So he's making me play video games and relax.
Yes.
Oh,
even though they're like the least relaxing video games on the planet. All right, we love you guys. We'll see you guys over on Twitch either tonight or tomorrow.
Bye, guys. Have a good
Bye-bye.
weekend. Go watch me turn myself into a pizza.
Yeah.